Hey, what's up? I have a question regarding the reselling of textbooks. I'm still sourcing during this time of year, but holding off until selling these due to the decline in selling prices across the board. I'm guessing we're out of season. Could you specify the exact times of year when you might be able to sell for a premium? The buy box on Amazon can be quite volatile when selling textbooks, so you really want to pick optimal times to list your inventory. I'm guessing you were able to use the volatility to your advantage and continue to source books on the off season. Thanks. So that's a great point, Mario, and you are 100% right. So you can you can buy and resell textbooks year round, right? They will sell, although outside of textbook season, they'll typically, not always, this isn't like a rule of thumb, they'll typically sell for less prices, and obviously the sales velocity and how much you can sell books diminishes outside of textbook season. So the best approach, right? You can sell them year round, but the best approach is to source textbooks when they're super, super cheap pre-textbook season. And there's two main textbook seasons, but there's actually three because there's a summer one as well. And I'll cover those specifically here in a second. But the best approach is to source textbooks super, super cheap, like a month or two before textbook season starts, right? And then list them, right around textbook season, right around when it's about to start at higher prices, because the prices will all skyrocket because the demand will increase. So your inventory will then sell. So typically, what it basically means is you source ahead of time, like a month or two before textbook season starts, right? With, depending on how much you can afford to spend, how much time you can afford to wait. Like realistically, you could spend a couple $100, but you won't get that many textbooks. Or you could spend a couple grand like I did last year and then turn that couple grand into like 5 or 10, right? So typically what you want to do is you want to source like a month or two before the textbook season starts, list them all super, super high, send them into FBA, and then when textbook season starts, typically all the lower ones will sell off quickly, and then yours will be the only one left there pretty much, with some other ones at a higher margin, and yours will sell for a great profit, okay? So the two main textbook seasons, I pulled them up right here, and you can just Google this. Like if you ever forget, just Google when is Amazon textbook season, and it'll pop up with the two main ones. But there is also a summer one, but I forget when that actually starts. It's when kids go back to summer school. So fall textbook season begins mid-July and goes through mid-October. So obviously right now that's what you're focused on, right? It starts in like early to mid-July. Peak textbook sales there are generally the week before Labor Day or around Labor Day. Spring textbook season, which is obviously the other one, begins mid-December and then goes through early February. And it really goes a little past early February, in my opinion, especially because kids don't always get their books like right away. And peak textbook sales are generally the first 2 weeks of January. So for the one approaching, it's mid-July, right? And we're practically almost in April right now. So that you're looking at like all of April, all of May, all of June, and then July, right? So realistically, you can source now. It's a fine time to source because you're going to find textbooks super cheap, like using the software. And then you can obviously list them you can list them now and wait super high, but chances are they won't sell at super high prices right now, although there's still margins. Or really the best time is like a month or two from now to start sourcing and really get into it, so that by the time you source them all, they get to you, you can ship them into FBA and you're not waiting that long to get your money back, right? So it all depends on you. If you have the cash flow to wait like a few months and you want to go into that, by all means do that. But typically the best way to do it is right before textbook season, ship them into FBA, list them high, be patient. They'll all sell off very, very quickly throughout textbook season for great margins, okay?